Alright, this is Carl and Adam from Thoughts in Motion.
And welcome to Series 2 of Life Discussions.
So, like, obviously that's talking about, like, parents and family life and things like that. Moving on to, like, being inspired and listening to, like we were talking, like, mentors and...
Yeah.
In all of the people that you look up to and the people that you kind of discover as you get older and as you mature.
So, like, I think that the first one was about 3 years ago. My first ever, like, motivational speaker was Les Brown.
Yeah.
Like, I had... well, it's probably Rocky Balboa, to be honest. That speech he gives, you know, like, and life will keep you on your knees if you let it. You know,
that just went from there.
It kind of went from there. Well, yeah, it was like I was very upset. Like, you know, I think I just been like dumped as you do, and I was like, I need motivation. So I had like one tape that I listened to for like 20, 30 times a day, and it had his voice on it, and I thought, I like this guy's voice. Yeah. So I went and listened to more and more of his stuff, and then found more people like Greg Plate, Julian Owen,
Elliot Gary from me.
Elliot Gary, who else? Eric Thomas.
Oh yeah.
You know, preacher, you know, like all these different people. You know, you go and find them, and like they all have the same message.
Oh, the joys of YouTube.
Yeah, but it's like, did you think they ever had a time when there was like someone told them what to do? Like they probably said, you know, this is what I'm going to do.
Either that, or someone told them what to do and they didn't do it anyways. They just kind of took
I'm doing my own
path,
shit.
So.
I'm doing my own shit. But yeah, like there was probably a time when someone told, like, someone probably mentored these people. Like they had mentors, they had mentors. Like, you know.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean,
obviously, like Les Brown, his kind of mentor growing up was Mr. Washington.
Mr. Washington.
Honestly, yeah.
Yeah.
So he kind of.
And his mama.
Yeah, and his mom, obviously, he makes that clear enough.
I'm Mamie Brown's boy.
So those two were kind of like his mentors, and then it's funny because he kind of goes on to mentor like millions of people.
Exactly.
So
it's like a chain, isn't it? Someone mentors one person, one mentors.
But it's weird. Now that I come to think about it, and my discovering of like motivational speakers and all of that stuff is kind of weird. I don't actually specifically know how I kind of stumbled on it. All I know is that I've always been a very driven individual, so I think that's always been kind of in my blood, and I think it comes back from like being a musician, being a guitarist, because I know how hard it is, and I think that's why I'm so driven, because it's like I want to do something with it, and that I've found something at such a young age. I need to make something of myself from that. But I think that I kind of bit by bit discovered this. I got mainly more and more into it as I kind of met you, and our relationship kind of grew over the past year. But it was kind of, I discovered Gary Vee on accident.
You're welcome, bitch.
Yeah. I discovered Gary Vee on accident, and that's where I kind of really began. And it was in like 2014. I was watching like a Matthew Santoro video, a YouTuber, and he follows him, and he basically did a question and asked Gary Vee, and he got featured on the show. So I kind of clicked through, and I was like, oh, what's all this about? And I watched the episode, and I left a comment. I noticed that you replied, but this time I had no idea who Gary Vee was. And I kind of left it for a bit, and then somehow eventually came back to it. Ended up watching every episode, and then from there, that's when it like really just like a positive spiral of like all these different people I discovered. And then obviously Elliot was recommended to me by Daniel, Dan, my friend. He was kind of passed on to me by that. I found Gary myself, and then obviously everyone else was kind of passed on to me by you. But like, I think it was destined for me to kind of like read all of these books and watch all of these videos, because of being such a driven individual from the start kind of thing. That was just kind of in my blood. I just needed to discover it, basically.
See, I think like there's big differences between me and you. Like, like the way we were raised, the way we are now, everything is totally fucking different. But like I was never a driven person. Like if you met me in school, quiet, I didn't like if I was in PE, I'd purposely forget me kit. That's so fucking lazy. Like, there was never a time when I was like, I've got a physical activity. Like, there was no sort of drive to do anything. You know.
See, that was kind of weird for me, because even subjects I wasn't interested in, I didn't really care about, and I still don't care about in school, I still tried at, and I still did my best. Like every teacher would always say to my mom, like, oh, he does really well. He listens to what we have to say. He does the work. He doesn't mess on in class like this and that. Yeah. So. That's just the way it's always been throughout school. I think that's how I am as an individual.
I used to get told at school that I had to. I did a post on the website about this. The teachers would always say Adam does really well in class, but he doesn't contribute. He doesn't make an effort, you know. And it was only when I was about 17 that I decided that I'd leave that all behind and like try to have some form of drive. And to get a drive to do something is probably one of the hardest things ever. Like you can go, do it, live your dreams and shit, but it's that's one of the hardest things to try. And
really is,
like you can try, and then you have all this motivation, and then 3 weeks down the line you're like, nah, probably just watching TV.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you can come home like after meeting like a motivational friend or someone that inspires you. You come home and then you just go TV. You know, like you don't act on it. You know, and like obviously Paul you met, my trainer and pretty much life coach, to be honest. Paul is he's one of the biggest mentors of my life. Like he totally changed every view that I ever had. You know.